Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Mind Over Matter with Sanket. In this episode, we'll be talking about the possible dangers of being an empathetic person, meaning that a person who cares a lot about other people, cares a lot about other people's feelings. So if you are an empath, you might have noticed that you resonate with the emotions of the people around you. If they're happy, you're also happy, but if they're sad, you're very worried and you want to know the reasons as to why they're sad. But then there are also a lot of dangers that you can pose to yourself by being an empath, some of which are taking in their emotion to yourself. Rather than solving their problems, you also become a victim of the problem. You might not notice this firsthand, but then slowly you'll notice that you also start feeling very bad and miserable. So this can be very dangerous. So if you are an empath, you cannot totally change your personality. You cannot be like, I won't care about anyone else, because you will certainly care. That's in your nature. But then there are several things that you can do in order to be a better empathetic person. The first of which is being a regular meditator. So what happens when you meditate is that if you can give some time of your day every day to, just reflect on your feelings and reflect on how your day is going, and also, evaluate your day, how easily you were affected by other people or how you were able to cope up with different emotions throughout the day. If you start analyzing your day during your meditation, you start becoming a lot more calm, and you'll not really be easily affected by other people's emotion, because you'll have this shield after you meditate. You'll be aware, calm, and not easily moved by whatever the external world throws at you. Now the external world is very prone to throw tantrums at you. If you notice it, everyone's throwing their tantrums at everyone else in some way or the other. Either it's through active aggression, or it may also be through passive aggressions. So it's very important that you protect yourself from these harms. The next thing that you need to do as an empath is that you need to properly communicate with the person who's feeling bad. In this episode, I'll be especially dealing with other people having negative emotions, because when they're having positive emotions, you can just align to their emotions. But then when it comes to negative emotions, you cannot let them affect you, right? So in this episode, we'll be talking about how you can create a shield so that you protect yourself from the negative emotions and also help the other person out to get out of it. So the major thing that is necessary here is proper communication. You need to properly communicate with the person. Try to know what the problem exactly is. You could ask the person to be totally honest and to tell you about their rawest feelings. Now, if they do not tell you the truth while telling you everything, it might be harmful for them, because unless they tell you the truth, you cannot really solve the problem. The solution to the problem will always be incomplete. But then if they can tell you the entire problem, you could analyze it from both your perspective and also from the particular person's perspective. Look at it from his or her eyes. What does the situation look like? Similarly, look at the situation from a third person, that is your own eyes, and look at how you could possibly solve this situation. But then generally what happens is that people's ego does not really let them to, totally tell you the problem. They won't really reveal the entire problem to you, because if they do that, they feel like they're being too vulnerable. Now this is a very deep thing, but then that's their ego speaking. Because if someone does not tell you their entire problem, if someone tries to keep something within, they're trying to boost their own ego by, victimizing themselves and convincing themselves that their life is very sad and that they need a lot of attention. They also think that they are very important people and that they need all the good things in the world. So this might be a very dangerous trap. Now, the person might not have such a bad intention per se, but then if you try to solve everyone's problem, if you go after everyone to solve each of their problems, you cannot really afford to do that, because you yourself are a very emotionally complex human being. You yourself have your own problems. So solving other people's problem is only secondary. It should only come after you yourself are totally calm and relaxed. So I was saying that although the other person might not intend to hurt you or transfer the negative emotions to you, it so happens that if you're not strong emotionally and mentally, the negative emotions are more easier to receive than the positive emotions. This is because we are in a constant state of tension. Like, the world is not ideal. There are always problems that are rooting up. If there is a negative influence and a positive influence that's coming in, you generally just ignore the positive influence because you believe that it's the default state that we should be in. But then whenever there's some negative influence, you tend to get worried about it and affected by it easily. Hence, it's important that you resonate your own positive vibes to other people, but you should never receive negative vibes from other people in the name of solving someone else's problem. You should not get yourself into that same loop. You should not get yourself into the vicious circle of anxiety and trouble and misery. Even if you are an empath, even if you are a person who cares a lot about everyone, it's completely fine. That's a very good trait to have, but then you also need to be very wary about whether or not you let other people's emotions affect you. You need to create this shield, and you also need to separate time for yourself. Even with your close people, even with your family or your partner, you always need to, have this fine line. You need to give some time to yourself. You can meditate or write poetry or paint, do anything that you love, but then something that you can do with yourself that makes you calm and relaxed, that does not really require any other external stimulus, because whenever you're interacting with the other person, you will certainly have the input and output of a lot of information, and that's also somewhat tiring for you. So it's very important that every day you separate some time for yourself so that you can do what you love. We'll be talking about this in detail in some other episode in the future. So if you like this video, do not forget to press the like button. Also, if you like whatever's happening here at Sound Health Solution, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. We've almost reached 10,000 subscribers now, and we have a lot of surprises in store for you. Make sure that you keep in touch. Until next time.